Every year, millions of people tune in to watch some of the country's most talented athletes compete to be number one. We often get to witness the results of their hard work and dedication, but behind the scenes, the parents of these budding athletes have their own success stories. In this new series, we'll hear from these parents and learn about the sacrifices they make, the challenges they face, and the pride they feel in watching their children compete at the highest level. This is Championship Moms. The journey to March Madness is not only about the athletes, but also about their dedicated parents, whose lives have been shaped around supporting their children's dreams.
My name is Elby Brathwaite. I am the mother of Jawan Roberts, who played for the Houston Cougars. We are from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Jawan's focus from birth has been basketball. From the time he could walk, he, had a basketball in his hand. He was always taller than his peers. From the time Jawan was born, in his cradle, every Sunday we would come out here and Jeff and his friends would play ball. So Jawan has been seeing ball all his life. And then I played ball for the University of the Virgin Islands here back in 2003. And even when I was there practicing, Jawan was there in his car seat propped up in the bleachers, and the players were sticking to us watching him while we practiced. So he's always been around basketball. This man came from Chicago and he wanted to go with Jawan. And at that point is when I was like, somebody from the States see him, so it have to be something special.
Hi, I am Cleone Boston. I live in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I am the mother of Aaliyah and Alexis Boston. Aaliyah started playing ball a little bit over 9 years old. Her inspiration was her sister. Alexis played a year before and she wanted to play. We didn't necessarily see greatness they looked like they were going to be tall. So we decided to, at age I think 10 and 12, send them to a camp. Give them the opportunity to say, hey, if you want to play basketball, you can see what it's like by going to these camps where these kids are on the mainland. And we send them to some camps on the mainland.
Their encouragement, guidance, and unwavering love have been an integral part of their wins. Their stories are a testament to the incredible bond between parent and child, and a reminder that success is not achieved alone. Strength and perseverance are two themes we hear from parents as they navigate the challenges and triumphs of their child's athletic career.
After Duno broke down, which was a housing project here where his dad lived, this is where the basketball court that they used. Jawan pretty much started here, so that's where most of the kids get their start.
In St. Thomas, we are limited in the amount of opportunities that are there for the kids. When Alexis and Aaliyah were playing, they stayed in Massachusetts with my sister. As they got into sports there, we had to travel with them because they got involved with an AAU team.
If he was serious about playing ball and he wanted to be seen, he couldn't stay in the islands to accomplish that goal. So I sent him out to Texas with my sister, where she had sons, that was his age. He went there. Eventually, he got on some AAU teams. He went into Nike Pro Skills, and he got seen. He went to a Peach Jam over in Atlanta, and that's where Coach Sampson for University of Houston actually saw Jawan, and the rest is history.
So we were directed, guided to a coach in New York, New Jersey, New York, and that meant 4 hours traveling from Massachusetts to New Jersey, New York every weekend for practice.
Jawan signed, committed to Houston when he was, I think, 16 years old. 16. And the rest is history.
When it came to AU, my husband and I we both would travel from here and meet them. And so he would take the first 2 weeks, and then when he comes back home, I would take the next 2 weeks. So one time he might be in Atlanta and in Tennessee, and then I will be in New Orleans and Chicago, or vice versa. My husband and I said the other day that had we not had the girls, couldn't we have been millionaires? Because of the amount of money that we invested. I won't even say spent, that we invested.
Something like where Jawan is, so I know where he get his skills from. Probably his shooting is from his dad, but rebounding is definitely from me. Definitely from me. The blocks, dad. Rebounds, mom. And so it's in his blood. It's in his blood.
She is now WNBA draftee, #1 pick for 2023. She attended the University of South Carolina for 4 years, and God has helped us to do really well. For the past 2 years, we've been hearing Aaliyah Boston #1 draft pick. We've heard it last year, we heard it this year. But if you watch drafts before, you know that those numbers don't always pan out. I'm like, until we hear her name and which team picks her, we sit and we wait. Well, to God be the glory, we didn't have to wait too long. And she did get the #1 pick, and it felt surreal. It felt surreal.
Every decision that Jawan has made in terms of basketball, he has made, and nobody has influenced him. I didn't make the decision, his dad didn't make it, it's solely Jawan, and we can just support him in whatever decision that he makes, whatever avenue he goes with, we supporting him. That's it. Visibly see that he's a team leader.
For many of these parents, supporting their child's athletic dreams has been a lifelong journey. However, the path to tournaments and championships are never easy, and the emotional toll on parents can be significant.
I think the competition will probably get more difficult as we get closer to the Final Four.
The goal when they started playing basketball was to get a scholarship to school, because mommy and daddy didn't have a bunch of money put down to go to college. Everything we did, we trusted God. We did in faith. Everything. Every step that we took, it was, God, please make a way. Please open the right doors. You know, when we questioned whether we made the right decisions, it was, God, you brought us this far. You're not going to leave us now. Everything was in faith.
There are many ways in which parents have had to adapt to support their children, from balancing work and family obligations to managing their emotions during high-pressure situations.
The balance between work and basketball is not difficult, because when you have a good support system, my sister made it very easy for me. So once I know certain games, you know, playing, and I look at the schedule, I could request time from my job. Hopefully I plan to be there at Sweet 16, going into Elite 8, Final Four, and then definitely the championship out in Houston. So that's kind of my travel plans. It's always iffy because it's win or go home. So for me, living in the islands is, you know, I have to keep watching the games, the tickets, you know, to see when I'm going to be able to fly, what's the best route. And that's kind of, not the struggle, but the excitement of having, you know, your son play ball on that level. Like when I went to Indiana for the Elite 8 2 years ago, I've never been to Indiana. So I go, and as soon as they win and they make it, I go home and I go on this laptop and I start booking tickets to Indiana. I get my flight up there. I already hook up an Uber. I usually travel solo because I I don't know how I'm going to be moving. I don't know when I'm going to be moving. I have never traveled so much in my life. But it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
The joy and family time that sports bring are also to be noted.
Because they were living in Massachusetts and we were living in St. Thomas, every time we had to go to dinner before they leave. It came more than basketball, because that was our moments to see each other when we normally wouldn't be seeing one another. And it was just special that was our time together.
There's a lot of bonding that happens on the road, and as tournament dates are set, the excitement and anticipation among the parents are palpable.
One of the things that Algie and I said, my husband and I said this season, is that a lot of kids go to college every year, but they have never gotten the opportunity to experience March Madness. They've never gotten the opportunity to experience the first round or the second round or Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or Final Four. And she's been to college for 4 years and had the opportunity, except for the first year with COVID, to experience the Final Four all 3 years.
Most parents can't contain the pride on their faces as they cheer on their children from the stands. During tournaments, parents have often described their feelings as a roller coaster of emotions.
The Maryland game and the Elite 8 was interesting as well. I was probably a little annoyed. A lot of calls, a lot of really bad calls, very physical. The refs allowed them to get away with a lot of stuff, both sides. But it didn't drop the way we wanted to drop, but we won. We played UCLA this year. And but we handled them really well. I think we did a great job, and we took it home.
Sometimes things go well, very well. But when things are well for one team, there's another team on the other side of the win.
Well, the game that they played against Memphis for the championship, that was a big game. And even though they lost, I think it's an eye-opener for them to let them know that everybody is coming after them, so they could make whatever adjustments they need to make, because with them losing their star guard, that's an eye-opener that anything could happen in this tournament and any team could lose anybody. So everybody have to show up on game day. And yesterday, I think everybody didn't show up. But that's good, because they're gonna be ready for the tournament.
I tell Aaliyah, and it's not just in good times or when we get what we want. I said to her, God has a plan for everything. And even when we can't see the reason for the outcome of something, we still have to trust them.
Tournaments can be a nerve-wracking experience as parents watch their children compete under intense pressure.
Hopefully, I plan to be there at Sweet 16, going into Elite 8, Final Four, and then definitely the championship out in Houston.
It's evident that the journey of these parents is one of sacrifice, dedication, and love.
I prayed right down to the last buzzer. And when it didn't go away, I said, God, you have a different plan. And you have to teach them those things, because as adults, we know that everything will not go the way we want it. We could plan from now till tomorrow. If things go outside of what we envision and what we plan, we have to adapt, we have to adjust, because the real world is hard. But if you're not prepared, what you do on the court isn't going to get you prepared.
Coming from a small island and having that influence on such a big place, like, that's a surreal feeling for a mom. I can't even point exactly into words how I feel.
When they go to play basketball down at Cancrine or at Griffith or wherever, and they lost 5-4 or 15-11, I was there. But when your children know you have their back, they're gonna be different. Sorry.
They are the unsung heroes supporting their children every step of the way. We hope that you have gained a greater appreciation for the role that parents play in the lives of these young athletes. And to all the parents out there, we thank you for your unwavering support and dedication to your children's dreams. Your love is shaping the future of tomorrow's athletes.